Hi everybody, we're back and now you're stuck with both of us. So we just wanted to finish today the last section and talk with you a little bit about scripting and how it works. And the first script that Amy and I wanted to do for you is what's called the Top 5 script. This is a script that Amy and I used in something called the Degnan Group for many, many years. And trust me when I tell you, it is the result of literally tens of thousands of calls with buyers, experimentation, revisions, and stuff like that. And for the record, the best script editor and writer I've ever seen in my life is my lovely wife, Amy. So she wrote most of this material. I want to acknowledge that. So, Amy, set the stage. You're a buyer. Where are you?
On this one, why don't I just call in? You have a listing, and I'll call in and ask you about it.
Ask me about it.
All right. Well, hey, I'm calling about that house.
Okay, sure. The one on Elm Street?
Yeah, I think so. The blue one.
Yeah, sure. What would you like to know?
How much is it?
Well, the asking price is $270,000.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, well, I appreciate you calling. By the way, while we're talking, could you tell me a little bit about what you're looking for? Perhaps I could help you in some way.
Well, we're looking in that area. I like the schools there, and I need a 3-bedroom, like an attached garage. I don't know. You can probably work with anything else.
Did you need a basement, partial or full?
It doesn't matter.
Okay, and you mentioned area. What specific area are you looking in?
Where that Elm Street house is.
Okie dokie. Oops, sorry. Okay. And did you have a price range that you were considering?
I don't know. I don't really know what we can afford.
Okay.
We're renting now. I mean, I know what we pay now, so I don't want to pay any more than that if possible, but I don't know.
Okay, so just to recap for a second, okay, you're looking for a 3-bedroom home with an attached garage in that area. It doesn't sound to me like you have a lot of really particular items that you're all that interested in, but you're concerned about financing and issue, that sort of thing, correct?
Yeah.
That's called a paraphrase, guys, and they're very, very powerful, okay? So I'm going to break out a role play and say, can you tell me a little bit about what you're looking for? Maybe I can help you. Bedrooms, basement, garage, price range, and area. Now, I know my script that well, and here's my suggestion to you guys. You should know yours that well, too, because there's way too much money on the line for you to try to do this off the cuff. And if you're sitting there telling yourself, well, I just want to be spontaneous, I think, respectfully, I think that's an error, okay? I think the idea of trying to do this without any planning, without any precomposition, is a huge strategic error. So please, I'm pleading with you to hear me on this. There's a lot of prejudice that surrounds the idea of scripting. People think it's awkward and they don't like it and it sounds salesy. If it sounds salesy, if you sound awkward, if you feel awkward, it's not because this is a bad idea, it's because you didn't do the work. So we're going to talk some more about that, and hopefully, someone who helps you with this material will as well.
I'd like to point something out too,
Sure.
that what Dennis did with that question is he was basically identifying needs. Can you tell me a little bit more about what you're looking for? Maybe I can help you. And then he kept asking about my needs. He was trying to figure out what I was looking for. So the other thing you didn't do, you didn't just jump in and say, let me show you that house.
Right. Well, that's the worst mistake you can make, is to go for the throat on the house or go for the throat on the showing of that house. It's a rabbit hole. It'll cost you money, not make you money.
And chances are it is nothing like what I want.
Right.
Right. That house may be totally out of my price range.
So we've moved through rapport and needs and identification. And I'm also going to say, well, I appreciate talking with you. And I did want to mention to you, even though it is a seller's market, there are some great buying opportunities in that area. And today there might be 3, tomorrow there might be 17. The listing inventory is growing. But what I'd like to do for you is to do a little homework using my experience and my expertise. Come up with what we call the top 5, and it might be the top 2, I'm not certain. But I'd like to identify what I think are the best buying opportunities for you right now, put some information together, and come over and chat with you about those buying opportunities. Can we possibly get together on Tuesday in the afternoon, or maybe Wednesday later on in the day would work better for you?
My schedule's a little crazy. Can I just call you?
Go ahead, be difficult. A lot of people are watching this. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Now, if she... Okay, thank you for doing that. Here's what you do, because I'll tell you what most agents would say. Because they don't want to offend anybody, they don't want to be uncomfortable, them or the other person. They would simply say, yes, call me if you want, or call me if you can, or whatever. That is a huge mistake. When I started doing these scripts and writing them out, they worked so well, I tried it the first time. Then I started to wonder, well, what happened if I asked again? Would my batting average go up? Harvard University study. In this environment, if you ask her the first time, it's probably a 20 to 25% conversion. If you ask again, tactfully, without offending her or making her mad, it's going to jump into the 40s, low 50s. If you ask again, it's going to go north of 60 to 70. So what would we do? We would not repeat this particular dialogue, but we would repeat this process. And the way that you do that, can you hit that forward button? Okay. The way that you would do that is on the next slide, and that's you would go to Good Bargains, and this is important. Do not go back in and just simply do feature benefit close. You would ask her a couple of more rapport questions. You might do Ford. Ford stands for Family, Occupation, Recreation, and Dreams. I'd say, well, you know, Amy, I'm curious, as we're chatting, you mentioned the 3-bedroom and attached garage. Are you from the area here?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And do you work from home? Is there any home component? Like, do you work remotely?
No, I'm a nurse.
You're a nurse. Okay, cool. You know, it sounds like you're really positioned well, and you've got some like needs that are relatively easy to fulfill. You know, we talked a little bit about what we could do for you, but through the multiple listing service, we can show you everything in the area rather than the few that you can find on your own. And one of the things that we do have to offer you is not only instantaneous top 2 or top 5, but on an ongoing basis. If you don't find what you like in the first round, a lot of times it takes months to find the right house. If you don't find it initially, we can watch the market for you. And real estate's just like any other commodity, any other product. How long is the best buy on the market in your community on the market? 10 minutes, okay? So if we can figure out a way to work together, I can watch the market for you, and we both can know instantly when that best buy of the year pops up, because real estate is just, as I mentioned, just like any other product. The really good buys go really fast. And I'd like to show you a little bit about how I can help you get them or find them and get in front of them. Is there a time that I can come over later in the week?
Yeah, I have a day off on Thursday, but I need to check with my husband.
I get it. I understand. Here's what I'd like to do. And guys, I'm going to break out a roll again. The next thing I'm going to do is something called tentative, okay? I understand I'm married too, and I don't want to get yelled at, so I get it. And then I would laugh, and I would say, why don't we do this? Let's set a tentative time on your day off, and if for any reason that becomes inconvenient for you or you're uncomfortable with it, just give me a call and we will reschedule. Now here's what you don't want to do. You don't want to tell them you'll call and confirm. Don't do that, number one. And number two, don't go away. Say, I understand this is an important decision. You probably don't want to make it without your spouse. I get it. However, why don't we do this? And then why don't we do this is an important phrase, and then scheduling a tentative appointment. These are skills. These are foundational skills. Guys, you're going to have to get these appointments, okay, if you're going to do well in the business going forward, I believe, okay? And if that's the case, this is the kind of nuances and stuff that you're going to have to learn. Just remember the word tentative, you'll be good. Yep. And when they say no, don't hang up the phone. Here's the rule I would encourage you. If you get good enough at this, you will not, if their lips are moving, do not hang up the phone, okay? I mean, as long as that conversation is going on, you have someplace to go if you know what you're doing. Thank you. That's a little role play for you.